Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Viking News.
What did you do on spring break?
I went fishing. What did you do on St. Patrick's Day?
I went to the St. Patrick's Day parade.
That reminds me of whipping it with Wider.
Let's take it to them now.
Welcome, Vikings, and today we're whipping it with Miss Wider.
Today we're going to be making leprechaun bait.
Okay, so for our leprechaun bait, we have our melted chocolate. We're going to add a bag of popcorn. Next, we're going to add pretzels, 1 1/4 cup pretzels. And then 4 cups of Lucky Charms because it's St. Patrick's Day. And then the last thing we're going to add is 3/4 cup of M&Ms. And we're going to use the green mint M&Ms since it's St. Patrick's Day as well. And we're going to mix all of this up.
Next, you're going to put it on a full-size baking sheet with some wax paper, and you can either let it sit out on the countertop and let it harden, or if you're like me and you don't want to wait for your treat, you can put it in the fridge for about 10 minutes. Then you just break it apart and you're good to go. And that's your St. Patrick's Day leprechaun bait sweet treat.
March 17th, 2 years ago, is when the state of Kansas shut down due to COVID. COVID has affected both people's personal and school lives. Let's see how it affected some of the students' lives.
COVID has affected my life by not letting me have social gatherings with friends and family.
COVID has affected my personal life because I didn't really get to do anything, and I've had to sit at home with my brother for a while.
Blake and Deshaun are also going to present Ja Morant's top 5 dunks.
Today we're going to be looking at Ja Morant's top 5 dunks.
Man, this guy has some props.
Let's get into it. Number 5.
Attack mentality that I've seen. It's the attack there.
Number 4.
Away, Grizzlies with numbers. Lob, Morant!
3.
Morant with a running start. Elevate!
Number 2.
Rebound by Adams, his 6th. Morant blows by Primo. Attack!
Number 1.
What's for that? Here is Guess That Movie.
Oh my god, I love your bracelet. Where'd you get it?
Thanks. My mom made it for me.
It's adorable.
It's so fetch.
What is fetch?
Oh, it's like slang from England. So if you're from Africa, why are you white? Oh my god, Karen, you can't just ask somebody why they're white.
Could you give us some privacy for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Today we are interviewing our middle school staff to see if they have any advice for teenagers.
Okay, so my thoughts on social media, based on my experience as a registered dietitian for 30 years and seeing how self-esteem can really be tarnished, it concerns me that sometimes it's used in a bully fashion or that people interpreted it that way. So I think it can be a good way to keep in touch with people and friends, but I think it can be really deceiving and hurtful at times for people. Comes from the fella who has a birthday tomorrow, Dr. Seuss. So I pulled out 2 of his quotes. Always remember, you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and twice as beautiful as you've ever imagined. Keep that in your heart and believe that no matter what other people say to you. And the other one is when something bad happens, you have 3 choices. I have to remind this to myself also. You can either let it define you, let it destroy you, or you can let it strengthen you. Happy birthday, Dr. Seuss.
And I think kids have not changed over the years. I think the most important thing to kids is probably their relationships with their friends, their teachers, their peers, the people that are most important to them in their life. I feel like that is and will always be important to kids. My advice for kids today is to just be a kid, enjoy life, find and try different things that you're interested in, and learn as much as you can in school. You only have one time in your life to go to school every day, be with your friends, learn some things that are going to help you in the future, and just get the most out of every day that you have. You're blessed with your youth right now.
My thoughts on social media is it's a great tool. It's something that you can get instant information and use it. But unfortunately, I think sometimes we abuse social media because we use it too much. And I'm an avid person on reading. I like to hold that book in my hand, so I'd like to see more of that, or that hands-on making something, building something, not always having a screen in front of your face.
My thoughts on social media are it's about, like anything else in life, it's a great tool, but it can be used for evil. And so, you know, when the Facebook first started a long time ago, it was great for me to be able to like keep in touch with friends from a distance, and I can, you know, watch their kids grow up through pictures, even though we're not necessarily like talking and hanging out with each other every day because we live far away. But obviously then things happen with it where you lose the good behind it, and sometimes we focus a lot on the bad and sort of forget that there's still some good there to keep us connected, especially through this like COVID situation where those types of things and those types of ways were like the only way we could communicate with people.
This week's class shout out is Ms. Jacqueline's class at Garfield Elementary.
On February 24th, 2022, Russia started a full invasion on Ukraine. Currently, both Ukraine and Russia have their allies, with America, UK, and many other countries being allied with Ukraine. Now let's move on to our specialist, JC.
Hello, folks. It's surely a surprise, eh? Unfortunately, not necessarily a welcome one. As I'm sure you've seen in the news, Russia's invasion of Ukraine is not a joke. Or something lighthearted, especially not with Vladimir Putin making some constant threats over nuclear war if Ukraine joins NATO. Not so long ago, Russia launched a large-scale invasion on Ukraine, increasing worldwide tensions by, say, 1,000%. Unfortunately, there now only seems to be 2 options remaining, and they aren't pretty. We either A, let Russia take over Ukraine and possibly continue biting chunks out of Europe until only Russia remains, or B, nuclear war. Told you it wasn't pretty. Clearly, the end of this conflict not in sight yet, but hopefully some people just learn what might be a bad idea. Well, either that or, we just continue inflating Russia's economy.
Hey, welcome to March. This month, we're going to cover Women's History Month. So come with us as me and Sophia cover Women's History Month. Today we're going to talk about Oprah Winfrey and Katherine Johnson. Oprah Winfrey is a talk show person with a net worth of $2.1 billion, the first African-American and female billionaire of our country. Growing up, she lived with her father after she became pregnant with her first ever kid, which did not survive. It did die at birth. She has helped women realize that in life, no matter how you're treated, no matter how hard you work, you are always worth what you are. So yeah. And the next person is Katherine Johnson. She was a mathematician at NASA back in 1961, helping with the space race against the Soviet Union. She also helped with the Apollo 11 missions. She was one of the first Negro female mathematicians at NASA to help, and she also has a memorial there today.
All right, happy Women's History Month. I love March for two reasons. The first reason being that it's my birthday month, but the second reason is because I get to celebrate amazing women from American history. The one I would like to talk about today is AOC, and she was actually the youngest woman to ever serve in Congress. She was elected when she was only 29 years old. I'm 29 years old, so I think that's pretty freaking awesome. Also, you know, her parents are immigrants. She started off as a waitress and worked her way up to be, a part of the House of Representatives. She also tried to push through the Green New Deal. So if you don't know what that is, you should check that out. It's important for your generation. And so I would like young women to know that it doesn't matter how old you are or where you're from, you can change the world. Happy Women's History Month.
Figure would definitely be Rosa Parks because she was battling multiple different layers of injustice. One, just for being a person of color, and two, for being a woman, still in a time when women were considered less than men. And she had like the most nerve to stand up against that and to do what she did. And to me, that's just amazing. I just applaud that in so many different areas.
Well, that's our show. And always remember,
Stay safe and go Vikes!